back to today's biology class. In the previous class, we have studied about simple permanent tissue. Under simple permanent tissues, we have completed about the supportive tissues. Okay, supportive tissues, parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma we have completed. So in this section, we will study about the protective tissues. What are the protective simple permanent tissues? Protective simple permanent tissues. We will study about protective simple permanent tissue. And these protective simple permanent tissues are of two types. One is called epidermis. One is called the epidermis and the other is called the cork. Epidermis and the other is called the cork. So epidermis, you might have heard epidermis. Epidermis is the outermost covering of the plant. When let it be a leaf or a stem, anything, the outermost covering we call it as epidermis, and it is living. Okay, and this epidermis, what will be the outermost covering? What will be the function of it? It is protecting the cell, the inner cell, from any type of damage or injury. It is protecting them. So epidermis is the outermost covering of the cell. Whether it is a leaf or a stem or anything, epidermis will be acting as the outermost layer. With the epidermis of the leaves, you can see the structures like guard-shaped structures. You can see, study upon the leaves and all. You can see structures called stomata. Structures called stomata. Stomata are the structures which we can see upon the leaves and all. More number of stomata we can see at the lower surface of the leaves, and very less number of stomata we can see on the upper surface of the leaves. What will be this function of this stomata? Stomata helps in the process of gaseous exchange. They help in the process of gaseous exchange. Okay, they help in gaseous exchange. And this stomata is having guard cells. Okay, what we call these cells as guard cells. They are known as the guard cells. Okay, the main function of this stomata is help in the process of gaseous exchange. Help in the process of gaseous exchange. Okay, so epidermis is the outermost covering of the leaf and the outermost covering of the plant body. Mainly we can see upon the epidermis, we can see structures called stomata. Stomata are helping in the process of gaseous exchange. They are having bean-shaped or kidney-shaped structures. We call them as guard cells. Okay, in the bark of the tree you can see structures called, we call them as lenticels. Lenticels. On the bark of the tree you can see certain structures called lenticels which help in the exchange of gases. Clear, students? Then the next is cork. In the first class while teaching fundamental unit of life, I taught about the cork. You know, Robert Hooke, he first discovered the cell using which specimen? He used the cork. Cork is a dead tissue. Cork is a dead tissue which we can see. Mainly it is on the bark of the trees and all. You can see the cork and all. It is lightweight in structure. And it is impervious to gas. And that is gas as well as water molecules. That is why the bottles and caps and all, jams, squashes and all, we are using this cork. Okay, this cork is used because it is impervious, means it will not allow the exchange of these gas molecules and all. Gas, water molecules and all. So, cork is a dead tissue. Cork is a dead tissue. And this cork, why this cork is that the cork is made up of a substance called suberin. Suberin. Cork is made up of a substance called suberin, which is giving the nature. Impervious nature is given by the substance called suberin. And cork is, that's why they are used in shuttlecocks and all. We are using cork. So just what is the function of that is they are just providing a mechanical protective support. They are giving the protection to this plant body. Like additional structures which are giving protection to the plant bodies are this epidermis and cork. We have completed the protective tissue. Okay, now we have to study about the complex permanent tissue. We have completed simple permanent tissue. Under that we have studied about supportive permanent tissue and we have studied about protective permanent tissue. Next we have to study about permanent tissue. Under permanent tissue we have to study about complex permanent tissue. We will study about complex permanent tissue. Complex permanent tissue. Complex permanent tissue. Okay, as I told you, you remember about the simple permanent tissue? Simple permanent tissue means what? Made up of similar types of tissues which perform function. Here complex permanent tissue made up of different types of tissues or different types of cells constitute this complex permanent tissue. Under this complex permanent tissue are of two types. One is called as the xylem. One type of complex tissue is xylem and the other type of complex tissue is phloem. So xylem and phloem are the two types of complex permanent tissue. Okay, we'll see what is the function of this xylem and phloem. They are also called as vascular tissue. Xylem and phloem are also known as vascular tissue. Clear? So this xylem, what is the function? You might have studied starting from 6th class you have studied xylem, phloem and all. So function of xylem is xylem helps in the conduction of water and minerals from roots to all parts of the plant body. What is the function of xylem? Xylem helps in the conduction of water and minerals from the roots to different parts of the plant body. And this xylem is made up of different elements of xylem are there. The different elements of xylem are xylem trachees. So, what is the function of xylem? Helps in conducting water and mineral. Helps in conducting water as well as minerals are conducted with the help of xylem. Clear? And this xylem is having different elements. We have to study the first element of xylem is trachees. Trachees. Xylem is having element called trachees and the second element of xylem is called as the xylem vessels. Xylem vessels and the third element is xylem parenchyma. Xylem parenchyma and the other is xylem fibers. Xylem fibers. Okay, just only introduction only you have to know about this. Okay, xylem trachees, xylem vessels, xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers. Just we'll see the structure of that. Okay, xylem trachees. Xylem trachees will be like this. They will be having tapering ends. Xylem trachees, they will be having tapering ends. Trachees. They will be having tapering at both the ends and they will be having pits in between. We can see they are having structures called pits in between. Okay, what is the function of them? They are also helping in the conduction of the water and minerals. Then xylem vessel. Xylem vessels will be having cylindrical in structure with they will be having number of pits in them. Xylem vessels will be cylindrical in structure and they will be having a number of pits in them. And xylem parenchyma you can see elongated cells with nucleus. Parenchyma cells elongated, parenchyma cells with nucleus and fibers are also elongated structures. Fibers are also elongated structures and all these structures together helps in the conduction of water and minerals from the roots to different parts of the plant body. From the roots to different parts of the plant body. What are they? Trachees, xylem vessels, xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers. Clear students? And the next is phloem. You might have known what is the function of the phloem. Phloem helps in the conduction of food. Helps in the conduction of food. Helps in the conduction of food. Okay, from where? As I told, xylem will be absorbing the water. Xylem will be collecting the water from the roots to different parts of the body. What phloem will be doing? Phloem will be transporting the food prepared in the leaf to different parts of the body. Food prepared in the leaf to different parts of the body is done by whom? Phloem. So the movement of food is bidirectional. In case of phloem, the movement is bidirectional. That is, both the direction upward as well as downward direction the movement will be taking place. Whereas xylem, it is unidirectional. Unidirectional. That means what? Only in upward direction the movement will be taking place. Only in the upward direction. That is from the roots to the all parts of the body. So it is bidirectional. The same way, phloem is also having different components. Different components of phloem are CO tubes. The name also you have to study. CO tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers. Clear? The different elements of this phloem are CO tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers. We'll take the structure of the phloem cell together. Okay, I'll draw it together when we take the structure. Yes. We'll draw all that together. Phloem as well as all the elements of phloem together I will draw. Yes, when we take this structure, you can see these are phloem companion cells. You can see which is having first we'll see these CO tubes. They will be having nucleus as well as cytoplasm. The companion cells here, nucleus and cytoplasm are not there. Whereas the parenchyma is this one, which is having nucleus and cytoplasm. Okay, all together it is represented. So just you have to know only the names of the elements only. So CO tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers. So is it clear students about the complex permanent tissue? Two types, xylem and phloem. Xylem is the conducting of water and minerals and the movement is only unidirectional. Whereas in case of phloem, the conduction of the food, that is conduction of food takes place in both the direction. That is, it is bidirectional. And we can see different elements for this xylem are xylem tracheids, xylem vessels, xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers. And these tracheids itself, you can see the structure, they are having tapering ends. Whereas vessels, they are cylindrical and parenchyma is having nucleus and cytoplasm. Whereas as I told, the phloem helps in the conduction of the food and it is bidirectional. Both the direction, the movement of the food will be taking place. It includes elements of CO tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers. So this is all about the complex permanent tissue. Okay students, we have completed simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. I hope the section was clear for you. Okay, next we will start with animal tissue in the next class. Thank you.